Winston Smith is a low-ranking member of the ruling party in a nation of Oceania. Everywhere Winston goes, even his own home, the party watches him through telescreens. Everywhere he looks, he sees the face of the party, known as Big Brother. The party controls everything in Oceania, even the people's history and language. The party is forcing the adoption of an invented language called Newspeak, which attempts to prevent political rebellion by limiting all words related to it. Even thinking rebellious thoughts is illegal. This thought crime is, in fact, the worst of all crimes.
Big Brother is absolute authority. The party controls every aspect of a person's life. This includes thought, emotion, relationships, attire, profession, income, family, and expression of individuality. An overly powerful government has the ability to take over the lives of its civilians, and therefore guarantee its position as the authoritative force. The concept of totalitarian rule is a disconcerting thought, and the possibility of a government in complete control is even more disturbing. However, the people of Oceania have been brainwashed to accept and obey everything told to them by Big Brother. People no longer think for themselves.
The reason they do not think for themselves is because they are taught from birth that Big Brother is the most important aspect in their life, and that their life should be committed to serving Big Brother. This results in atrocities such as children spying on their parents and turning them in for crimes opposing Big Brother. This ensures that each generation will be devoted to Big Brother, similar to how our children are taught to be respectful to their elders.
The lack of connection between parent and child mirrors the attitude of the people. People of all ages lack empathy, our interpretation of morals, and the overall positive human connection. There is no remorse, no guilt, and no pity. This is exemplified by the public hangings of traitors to Big Brother. These hangings serve as delightful entertainment for the civilians. Events similar to this have repeatedly occurred throughout our history.
Furthermore, the citizens of Oceania participate in 2 minutes hate each day, where everyone yells in anger at their enemy. Hate can arise from a various number of situations, but it always leaves the person in a vulnerable state because hate is such a deep emotion. Big Brother facilitates this hate because one group of people feeling the same way is easiest to control.
Control is a blanket in which all citizens of Oceania lie under. The result of absolute control is ultimately conformity. When all people are forced to follow one law, they end up the same. Lack of individualism is a dangerous state. Without disparity or variety within a population, that population is unable to change and evolve. In other words, that population will not survive the test of time.
Under the blanket of control, all citizens of Oceania are denied one thing above all others: love. Their only companionships are assigned, and they are told when to have kids. Natural human relationships are part of what keeps humans sane, but when they are denied these raw instincts, the joy of life slowly disappears.
Love is a powerful emotion. It is the balance to an otherwise cruel and unjust world. The difference between love and infatuation is drastic. One is a bonding connection, while the other is simply an obsessed desire. Orwell presents the theme of love as a natural, necessary experience. However, the relationship between Winston and his lover is controversial when it comes to love. Is it true love, or are they simply engaged in this activity because of desire?
Winston's job includes the destruction of true events. However, no one knows what is truth. There's a fine line between what is true and what is a lie. Big Brother has conquered this concept. In their society, there is a constant manipulation of truth, a bending of reality, and it is almost impossible to tell the two apart. Consequently, the citizens of Oceania just accept all the information that is thrown at them. Orwell implies that humanity has the tendency to swallow the pill prior to contemplating whether or not the information is true. He implies that in our own lives, the historical information we know for a fact may not be as concrete as we may have thought. History is subject to the bias of the author. We all must keep this in mind, whether we are reading a textbook or a newspaper.
An example of unquestioned rule is Hitler and the Third Reich. People who did realize the invalidity of the authority were trapped by fear of destruction from those in power. Orwell highlights the danger of complacency by depicting a hopeless, conquered society.
Winston had always felt something was wrong with absolute power of Big Brother, but he was too afraid to act. He hid behind the conformity of society to keep his speculations safe. He eventually hit a breaking point and mentally split from society. He silently defied Big Brother. These actions would seem heroic, yet the society denigrates his every move.
His first defiance was thought crime, when he conjured the notion to buy a journal. The journal was a place to articulate his experiences and frustrations. It was a deliberate resistance to the party by relishing his rebellious thoughts. Thought crime is death. It is inevitable. Yet still, Winston views his actions more worthy than his life.
The fact that Winston had the ability to go and buy the journal is a major accomplishment in itself. This is an example of the all too rare exercise of free will. Since the citizens of Oceania have been brainwashed since birth to dismiss all forms of free will in their life, Winston's character serves to define the odds and break the boundaries through thought. Orwell implies that thoughts are the first steps towards any action.
The actions that Winston always knew to have an inevitable end did indeed sentence him to severe punishment. Although he thought that he was hiding his true thoughts from Big Brother, he was doing nothing of the sort. Big Brother was watching all along. Winston was tortured into insanity, his free will shattered. The ultimate goal of torturing someone is to inflict so much pain that eventually the victim submits to all demands.
A criticism of the overall themes of 1984 is that the unquestioning Oceania society would never be a reality. The argument is that people would rebel against such an injustice. However, events today may point to a different truth. Yes, people do rebel, but there is an existence of extreme polarization of beliefs, which can turn those followers into unwavering crusaders of the cause. An example of this is the division between gay rights issues. The sides are depicted in two very disparaging ways. Complete devotion to an issue is noble, yet people need to be fully wary of the danger of buying into bias before acknowledging the facts.
Who are you in your life? The puppet or the master?